want to start this video by giving a huge shout out to Camille at Make Good Studio, who requested this tutorial via Instagram.
Hi everybody, my name is Laree, and today I'm going to show you how to make a skirt out of a pair of jeans. So there are a few different ways to style your skirt from a pair of jeans. There is the way that is short and you sew the denim straight down the front and straight down the back. There is the overlap method where the front of the skirt is overlapped and then it's left open with the split, much like the one I'm wearing now. And then there is the long method where you keep the skirt long and you add and insert a contrasting fabric or another denim fabric inside that space where the jeans naturally split open. Now, I said it's long, but that type of skirt can be short as well. Today, I'm gonna show you the type of skirt that doesn't have anything added to it. It's overlapped in the front and it's straight in the back. Now, the fabric that I'm using today, the denim that I have, this is not a high stretch lycra stretchy material. This is a pretty sturdy denim. It's kind of soft. I was able to find these really cool Lucky brand jeans. So I'm gonna show you how to work with this when the option may not be to make it really tight if you don't want it really tight in order for it to fit well, because these don't have a whole lot of stretch and a whole lot of lycra. Now I will tell you guys that this pair of jeans did not fit me very well, so this skirt also doesn't fit me very well, so I'll probably give it away to someone in the end. So today we are going to use a sewing machine. This is not a no-sew video. We are going to use the sewing machine, and here are a few of the things that you are going to need today. You're going to need, of course, scissors, your pins. You're going to need a seam ripper or nippers. I don't have my nippers here right now, but a seam ripper to pick apart the front and the back inseam. You will want either fabric chalk or a water-soluble fabric marker. I use regular standard thread, and I also use a denim top stitching thread. Now these right here are optional. In order to help me make the curve in the back seat of the skirt, I use these tools here. If you have either one, that's fine. If you don't have either of them, you can totally draw that curve by hand. You can do these things by hand. It's completely okay. And then you're gonna need some type of ruler to make a straight line, whether you have a yardstick or you have a grid ruler like I do, or anything else that's straight to help you make straight lines, sew lines. Lastly, what you will need are the correct needles. Now there are some bulky parts in this fabric, so I have a jeans needle, and I'll show you as we go along in the video, and I also have top stitching needles of different thicknesses to get me through, again, those bulky parts. So guys, the very first thing that we're gonna do here is we're gonna pick apart the inseam, the front and the back. Let's get into it. I am ready now to start styling these now that I've picked apart the inseam. So in my mind, I wanted this to be an overlap front and I wanted the back to be straight. So before I go in and give it a final sew, I'm gonna pin it together first to see how it looks, to make sure that everything is lying flat and straight. In the back, these converted jeans can tend to dip here where the inseam is, and it has a tendency to pucker in the front. So I'm going to pin this up, try it on, see if all is laying flat, and then if it looks good, I'm gonna do a final sew. If not, then I'll do a little bit more adjusting, because it is possible to get this flat and to get it straight. So let's get started with that. this with a permanent marker so that you can actually see the lines that I'm making. Now, if you have absolutely none of these tools, that's okay. As long as you have something that is straight and not bent, you'll be okay. All right. So first of all, looking at this, what we want to do is we want to follow this natural curve down and straight into the leg. As we can see, this seam is going down and around into the inseam. We don't want to follow that path, but we want to keep this curving naturally around the shape of the body and then down straight the way a skirt would normally run. So to get this nice curve, I started off with my chalk just by hand drawing it. It's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be precise, that's okay. I just kind of want to get my bearings here and find out where that breaking point is between this natural curve around the bottom and then where it starts to go into the inseam. And then I use my hip curve to really smooth out that line. If you don't have a hip curve, again, like I said, you could, if you have this, I realize this is not readily available in stores like Joann's or your typical retail sewing supply store, but one of these might be. So you can take this, wanting the straight edge to go down, and really start to feel out that natural line and soften it up. And again, if you don't have any of those, you can do this by hand, and that's okay. I'm just so used to using my tools. Okay, so I'm gonna find that line, that curve, and bring it down straight. And there it is. So I've softened out that curve. I'm not going this way, but I'm going to go straight down. And now I'm going to take my yardstick or my grid ruler or anything that you have that is straight. And I'm really going to straighten out this line and make it my back seam of this skirt. So I'm going to connect this now hip area down here to the leg. I'm just going to blend it. There it is. So this line is possibly going to be my new seam if it looks right and fits right. It might have to be that I need to take this in some more, but I'm not gonna know that, how this is gonna fit around my bottom area. I'm not gonna know that until I pin it together and then try it on. So let's go ahead and do that. The final little adjustments before I start to sew. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this hem and leave about a 1/2 inch all the way around. I'm going to use this to, instead of creating a whole new hem, I'm going to use the one I have and just reattach it once I get this all sewn up into the length that I want it. So I'm going to cut around, leaving about a 1/2 inch. Get my white chalk and lightly mark, and then I can cut away the extra fabric that's underneath so this can lay nice and flat.
Now, I know that there are others who would have in the beginning not taken the time to pick this out, but instead would have cut the skirt on one side. I don't like doing that because I want to keep this original folded edge. I don't want to get rid of it on either side. So I took a little bit of extra time to seam rip this open instead of cutting it open with scissors. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm all set up and ready to go. The thread that I have here is your standard spool of thread, cotton polyester blend in black. I'm going to use for the top stitching, I'm going to use this dual duty top stitching thread in this color. And then the needle that I have on my machine, you guys have seen this before from me in my second video, I believe. So this is the jeans needle in size 16. And then when I get ready to redo the top stitching, I'm going to use my top stitch needle size 12. And if I find that size 12 needle isn't thick enough, I'm having trouble getting through the seams of these jeans, then I have size 14 top stitch needle, a little bit of a thicker needle, a little bit more heavy duty. Okay, so I just went and I ironed this out a little bit so it can be flat enough for me to make a new fold. And now I'm going to tuck and sew. Oh, also, of course, I put on my top stitching thread, and I changed my needle to my top stitch needle, and I actually put on the size 14 because there are some pretty bulky parts and I really don't want to risk breaking my thinner needle. So I just put the thicker top stitch needle on already. And then I pressed this out a little bit so that I can refold it to be what I need it to be, the kind of fold I need it to be. Okay, it's pretty bulky. Let's get that down. So I'm going to tuck, tuck, tuck the raw edges. Just like so. Ooh, that might bother me some, but there's nothing that I'm going to do about it right now. It will be what it is. Okay, I'm just going to turn this a little bit, and then the rest I'll do as I go. Here we go. Now, if you have a twin top stitch needle, that would totally help right now in this situation. Right now, I'm just going to do one side at a time. Okay. Right now, I have my stitch on 9. I'm going to see if I like that. Here is another way of sewing the back of your jeans. This is a skirt, but it's just like the jeans right now. Here's another way of sewing down the back if you do not care about keeping the top stitching and everything intact. So this is my jeans inside out. This is the center back and the waistband, so you can see here. So all I'm gonna do is fold it along that center back, take up the amount that you want to decrease in the waist, and then blend it past the inseam. This doesn't have an inseam, but blend it past the inseam until you've taken it up and closed it to the amount that you need it to be, and you've sewn past the inseam. So you just put it on your machine. I like this little feature, how you can raise the presser foot even higher if you need that space to get a bulky item in. And I didn't mark this, but I'm taking a look here. I'm going to blend this from the top of the waistband down to below the pocket and to the seam that's already there. And I could keep going, especially if I've already cut this off. Say to there. So that is another way to close up the back of your jeans. It's a bit more simplistic. It also helps with that space if you have a gap in the waist as well. Now I will tell you, the only thing about doing it that way that I don't love is that it brings the pockets pretty close together. Okay, I don't love that look, but if you were to take the pockets off or style it in a different way, then it could be fine for you. And as you can see, all that top stitching is gone. You've just simply sewn straight down the back to close up that inseam and to close up the back of your skirt. So now that part is done, and now it's time to sew my hem back onto this skirt. So I told you before that you can use this technique when you're altering jeans and you don't want to restitch the entire hem. This is a good way to do it. Okay, so here I'm sewing around my hem, in between the actual hem and the fabric, not on the hem itself. I switched my foot to a zipper foot because I had quite a bit of bulk, and this is helping. It's really helping me to get into that ditch too between the fabric in the hem. Okay, great. I'm actually gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna connect these two pieces. Like so. Let's see if this needle can get through all of this bulk. Actually, might be best to do this. There we go. There, and it all just snaps back into place. Pretty much. There it is. So, this is how you replace your denim hem without having to actually fold and sew that denim hem. Just like that. Now you can go back and press it. I think I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna zigzag this edge and then trim it close. This is the finished look. And of course, like I said, this is a little bit too big on me, but I'm gonna wear it anyway. I went ahead and added a couple of patches here because I had them here at the house. I have this feather patch here on the inner pocket, lightning bolt, and then here is the back. So, I love the way this is done because there isn't this huge dip right here in the seat, and it's loose fitting. It's loose fitting without that dip. Now, I'll tell you guys, this is a little bit too big, and I'm a bit slim, so I don't really fill in this skirt the way it should be filled in. But yeah, this is it. My split in the front came out good. I like it. I'll probably turn it that way a little bit more. I like it. And then here is the back with no dip in the seat. Yay! Guys, that's it. How to turn denim jeans into a skirt. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I was losing video footage as I was going along because my device is full. Like I said, that's a good problem. It shows that I'm doing things that I need to upgrade a little bit. So I hope that I was able to find all the best parts and put them together to put something helpful together for you. Now, I told you also in the beginning that there are about 3 different styles that you could do with your jeans. Guess what? I'm gonna do another video and I'm gonna show you how I turn these overalls into a dress, a jumper dress.
I'm really excited about these pair of overalls because I can actually fit them, and I am looking forward to rocking this jumper once I'm done with it. If you would like to see me sew something next, go ahead. I'm gonna post a question on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Sew Into It Lessons on Instagram. Let me know, what would you like to see me sew next? Guys, this has been great. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye. Okay guys, so this is my friend Annika, who I was saying was with me, and the jeans actually fit her well, and she stopped by today and she's trying on this skirt. It looks good on her. Can we see the back, Annika?
Absolutely.
Yay!